Now, if this is a crime, there has to be a potential motive. Typically, that's what there's like a motive. There's a reason why someone did X, Y, Z. From your viewpoint, your personal belief, what will be the motive? Why do you think we no longer have Nolan with us?
There could be several things at play here. It could have been alcohol and drug-induced rage, and sometimes people become a different version of themselves once they have been drinking or intoxicated or ingested certain illegal substances. So something could have happened that people got out of their minds and reacted violently towards Nolan. There's also been other suspicious things around the country. Mm-hmm. We do know that the Carmelo Anthony situation with Austin Metcalf in Texas was very controversial, and some people believe that this may have been payback for Carmelo killing Austin Metcalf. And so that would be a motive if that line of thinking has to be looked into, because we do know that not only did Nolan come up missing on July the 4th, but there are other people that came up missing around similar timeline and with similar demographics as Nolan. And so we do know that neo-Nazis, neo-Confederates are on the rise in America, and now it's cool again to be openly racist. And that's pretty sad. And so we have to look at all potential motives, not just one or two. It could have been accidental. It could have been something that was local to Horn Island, or it could have been something more sinister that was payback for something that happened in Texas or similar.
Yeah, upon research too, there was an incident where the KKK was passing out flyers in Ocean Springs several years ago. And that was interesting. I don't think it was like too crazy, but to support what you just said about neo-Nazis, those people still exist. They still move around. I don't want to necessarily put it on a particular political party, but a certain political party has gotten certain allegations against them. I do want to point out that Tracy Shepard, have you seen the picture of him with F. Joe Biden t-shirt on and Make America Great Again?
I did see that.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if that was real or AI enhanced. Or
I'm going to go with real because I found it very early on, before I think things got really crazy. Yeah, could that be connected to the storyline or in terms of politics? Does politics find itself in a motive area as well? Not putting it on him in particular, but just those dynamics.
I do know, having grown up in Jackson County, is heavily Republican, and especially Ocean Springs, that part of Jackson County is very Republican in nature. And so I would not be surprised if there are a lot of Trump supporters, a lot of MAGA supporters openly and proudly supporting that type, what I call foolishness, but to each his own. But I don't know that they would have gone so far as to kill someone because they were MAGA. I would believe that if it was an intentional killing, it would be more in line with somebody that may have been going through initiation in one of those neo-Nazi groups or neo-Confederate groups, or trying to get in the KKK to get their first kill or whatever. It's similar to gangs. From what I understand from law enforcement, you have to be initiated some kind of way. And so I would follow that track to see if it had anything to do with initiation into some type of white supremacist group, or did it have anything to do with the Carmelo Anthony, Austin Metcalf ordeal out of Texas, or was it just an accident, or was it just someone that got drunk and overreacted?
The fight that happened, and it doesn't seem like there's any conversation around that fight. And to me, it stands out because according to, I believe, the gentleman Tracy Shepard, that guy, he's like Nolan's black friend. I think he's biracial. And he had his white girlfriend out there, and they were arguing, and a young white man ended up kind of like letting him know, don't talk to her like that. Now, when I look at that, I can't ignore the racial component of it. Are you mad because my girl white? And I'm kind of like, letting her know maybe I'm showing some authority within my relationship a little bit. Did that bother you? Because according to the report that I read, that gentleman would then strike him first, and that's when a fight would break out. and I think there's more than one fight, but this particular fight would take place. So when I see that, I'm like, what would be your motive? What would get you so upset? If I seen a gentleman arguing with his lady, as long as he's not putting hands on her, I'm minding my business personally, because I understand how relationships work. Y'all heated, whatever. Y'all stressed out, blase, blase. But like when I saw that, that was alarming to me. Any thoughts about that? Like this person that would start a fight under those conditions?
Yeah, a person that would start a fight under those conditions, if they're mad at you as one biracial or black individual because of something you did, they may be mad at everyone else that looks like you out on the island. So at this point, you're all targets because they're pissed off at this one person. And so now they want to send a message to the rest of the black or mixed race people that we still can check you whenever we want to.
Yeah.
And they could have all turned.
And according to Trayston's story, him and Nolan were like with each other like all like the day. So automatically they're associating him. You guys know each other. That's your friend. That's your boy. So that made me think more like, okay, if now Nolan is talking to a white girl later, where's that person that seemingly seemed triggered or bothered by that? And I would have to look at it because it was a white guy talking to his white girl. I don't think it's as, I didn't hear that he hit her. I heard that they were arguing. I think that was, in my mind, the trigger was that you were seeing this black young man talk to this white girl with some type of authority, and that might have bothered you if you're saying what is true about Mississippi and interracial relationships still being kind of taboo.
And it doesn't really have to be something negative. Emmett Till was killed for something far less. I mean, he allegedly whistled at a white woman, something as simple as whistling, and he ended up dead. And so whether you complimenting them, arguing with them or what, just the fact that you have an audacity to interact with a white woman or a white young lady could trigger certain Mississippians. And we're not far removed. These are people that may be the grandchildren of whoever did what they did to Emmett Till. It's not several generations removed. It's only like 2 generations removed. That happened in the 50s. And this was 26 now. So you're talking about a 70-year time period, 2 or 3 generations. And those people, the apple does not fall far from the tree.
Particular, I think he told me he saw Nolan somewhere between like 2:45 and 3:30. He was like, Christine, yeah, we talked for a while. We talked about college. We talked about his life, his plans. And he was like, he was perfectly fine. We've seen this before, right? Pattern recognition. We've seen this where things have happened, especially when we talk about the Black community. And after the death, it's a smear campaign. It's, what can we find out about this person? What can we say? If you were in our situation, how would you feel if there were millions of people who are saying, oh, hey, well, he was at an island. He was heavily drunk. And again, even with the drinking, there are so many conflicting stories, only because I have spoken with adults who knew Nolan very well, coaches that were out there. One in particular, I think he told me he saw Nolan somewhere between like 2:45 and 3:30. He was like, Christine, yeah, we talked for a while. We talked about college. We talked about his life, his plans. And he was like, he was perfectly fine. Because I think it had bothered him too that there was this narrative of, oh, he was sloppy drunk. Like and it started at the very beginning. It was, oh, he was sloppy drunk. And I'm like, but was he though? Or is this a narrative